Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and sorry for that intermission. The Prince was just going over the, giving some parting aid to Solution de Chambron regarding his proposal to rebuild Riverside and many of the poor areas of the city.
Lucian will stand. Oh, sorry. Continue.
Yeah, she wasn't actually finished. It was like I was literally in the middle of it. So
cool. Continue.
Just say. Many of the cobblers and the masons have been unable to enter these areas because of the crime. Those few that dare to do so, or worse. As such, it appears the aristocracy is heavily leaning towards implementing martial law so that this rebuilding can take place without gangs that roam the streets. I'm sure you're aware of other implications that would come from the implementation.
Well, I was indeed informed by the sheriff yesterday about the potential of the curfew, etc.
That would, frankly, for many of us who have cultivated herds and domains and connections, I trust should not be a problem. And for those who do find it an issue, should be able to find those that can help them. Of this I am most certain because I know those individuals personally. That's neither here nor there. While many will see the heavy hand of martial law as welcome, particularly the nobility of the city, there is also a glaring possibility that there are many who will not. And of course, the criminal elements of the city most certainly will not. It will be a question of whether they shall go to ground or whether they believe they're going to such a level of power that they could confront the city on their own terms. I myself have decided not to interject on this matter, for I believe it is one for the city to resolve on its own. And for mortals to settle. It is my responsibility to the Canaanites, citizens of the city, that in spite of these issues, that they may still feel secure in spite of it, regardless of the outcome.
I foresee this curfew, he will say as he doesn't stand up at this point, being more of a hindrance than a benefit. It will, as you say, more than likely force action, whereas action should be taken in order to limit the influence of these individuals before such blunt strokes are taken. But the nobles will do what the nobles will do. I will do what I will do regardless.
Depending on how well connected you are to the nobles of this city or the military that will enforce their laws and decrees, you may be able to secure permission for yourself to roam the city past the curfew without consequence, and may even provide that to others.
He'll
But of
nod.
course, such a thing is currently within your reach. It is why, in spite of the obvious danger this curfew poses, I am not personally intimidated by it, for I know many of us possess this power and would be more than happy to share it for the betterment of all, and for the enforcement of the traditions at large.
Indeed. Well, he will bow very deeply to the prince again. This time he will straighten. He'll hold the bow for probably about 3 or 4 seconds before standing. And he will say, I have made my request. You have given me a most amenable and agreeable answer. For that, I thank you. And I have presented my gift. So now, as a matter of formality, I humbly request your hospitality within the city of Edessa, Your Highness.
She looks down, smiles. Again, the request amuses her slightly as she says, "That I believe you earned 60 minutes ago."
It is always best to do these things with a flair for formality, I find.
On this I shall see to your wisdom.
He will say, as Ventru said to his childer, cower not in fear of the sun, and shrink not from fire. We are the lords of the earth, and all things shall fall under our dominion.
Sure, she spends a moment to think on that. I say, well, I look forward to your activities and your continued presence within this city, Solution.
Should you ever... Oh, sorry, continue.
By all means.
Oh, he was just saying, should you ever require me, my sword or my household, you have but to ask.
I can keep that in mind. Have a pleasant evening.
Once again, he will do he won't do as deep a bow, but he will bow. He will take 3 steps backwards before he will turn, and he will leave the room. On a side note, I choose to point out that because of my path, actually pledging homage is something he would have to do very verbally. He can't just go, no, we'll hand wave that. No, path of chivalry says you don't do that.
Yeah. Oh. The guard will see to you and will escort you out very cordially.
As he as they leave, Lucian will tie his horse's reins to the reins of the horse for his valet, and he will tell him to go home. That Lucian is going to go and take a brief walk, and he will return later.
Okay. Yep, he'll do that. No problem.
Cool. And as I said, he just wants to go and he wants to see Riverside properly with his own eyes.
Ah, yes. A march to Riverside. The quickest way to Riverside would be through the Merchants District. There's a couple bridges that lead to Riverside from the Merchants District. See if I have a map here. I'll just double check. I might not have it on this laptop, but we'll just double check. Okay, yeah, we do. All right. So yeah, there are 2 bridges into Riverside. One fairly close to the palace leads to the north side, but that is the domain of the Scourge. Although it should be noted there is actually no, that policy hasn't been decided on yet. So yeah, you don't know if you're allowed to travel through that area right now. It's possible that the Scourge has said no one can come into this area. It very much depends. It might be completely fine, but you are taking a bit of a risk by doing that. You could take an extra 5 minutes though to just head down south side.
Yeah, Lucian will. Lucian doesn't want to ruffle anybody's feathers, so he will go to the south side.
Yeah, south side.
Is that the worst side of the two sides or something?
Pardon? North side is, funny enough, the crime is much more organized there, but has led to much more order. There's less violence in general. It's still not great, but it's an improvement from what it used to be. You head into Riverside. It becomes immediately apparent the state this place is in. Head into Riverside. You can even see it as you go across the bridge. You can see the vast difference between the Merchants District and Riverside. The Merchants District, there's a city watch guard on every corner. They travel in groups. They're all organized. Everyone seems to be kind of friends of each other. Like in Merchants District, there seems to be a lot of just a little bit of socializing. Like a lot of the merchants seem to know each other, seem to be friends. This does make sense to you. They're all part of the same guild, so there was. It makes sense for them to know each other, for them to have a lot of personal acquaintances. But the atmosphere of the Merchant District is very upbeat. Although, actually, could you make me a quick perception alertness roll as you head through the Merchant District? Real fast, just div 6.
I can do that. Perception alertness, cool. One, two,
oh,
4 successes.
Okay, your presence is definitely noted. Like you do see like some mortals like definitely kind of giving you the side eyes, and like they're not just registering you. It's like, oh, there's a person here, as in this is someone I need to keep an eye on, sort of look. Like this is definitely there's something beneath the surface is placed a little bit. Like it's you know the Seneschal runs at least half of this place. And it seems to be well looked after in more ways than one. Like it definitely appears your presence has been noted by several mortals, and it's always a different face, but there always seems to be someone somewhere keep an eye on you, at least for a couple streets. Then it'll be someone else. Then it'll be someone else. It always seems this place seems extraordinarily well organized, very wealthy, very and everything seems above board. There doesn't seem to be any illegal activity. The city watches everywhere. It'd be very hard to commit crime here on a sort of organic. You wouldn't be robbing any stores. That is not happening tonight. Spires dot the landscape. There are certain areas where even the nobles come down to visit and do shopping. Seems to be in the spires. There are a few spires in the Merchants District. Very upper morale. Seems like a place you'd actually go to do some shopping. Very, very this is people who are very wealthy, very, very wealthy, aristocracy and up, or the wealthiest merchant barons. Effectively, like mechanically, resources 4 and up, or you're not coming in here. There are several residences in the Merchants District. They all seem very well maintained. Some are more modest than others, but none of them seem particularly poorly maintained. They all seem well looked after. Even those that are modest, they're modest. They might not be extravagant, but they look nice. They look quaint. You'd be comfortable living here, even you, who's used to very comfortable living arrangements. Um,
I have a swanky on life. What can I say?
mm. And everything. It almost seems like this is just a good neighborhood to be in. And there's even small scale construction projects. You notice as you pass by the Smithies Guild, they seem to be building an assemblage for many of their apprentices and worse off laborers, effectively giving them shelter from the crime of the slums. But it's still a project that's um, underway, has yet to be completed, but it seems to have made a lot of progress. You can definitely see, you can see the assemblage having taken shape. It's an extension to the guild house, to the guild hall. As you cross, the atmospheric change is almost instantaneous. Like you can literally see the other side of the roadside. It looks run down from even a distance. Like you can literally see the sort of decaying houses, the rotting wood, the smoke. As you get closer, it's even the smell changes. Like it smells worse. Like there's not a lot of this area is not hygienic. Like it smells terrible. Vermin, the dead, like just all the worst sensations wrapped up into one as you cross this bridge. And the edge of Riverside seems to maintain some of the splendor of the Merchants District. A couple of gambling dens, a few establishments that perhaps rely on the city watch in the Merchants District to just hop over the bridge, just make sure everything's okay. But once you start actually heading in, you see the plague crosses on many of the homes. And it's just rows of plague crosses. Most of these houses are abandoned.
Lucian stops and he sighs. Like there's an audible kind of. But he'll continue on.
The houses that haven't fallen, most of the houses are just in a state of decay. A lot of them have just collapsed in on each other. You can see a few which have been just demolished, either burned down or someone's just literally just knocked out the supports. You don't really see many people. Like no one's really walking around. It's eerily empty. It's strange. It smells putrid, but you can also kind of catch the faintest smell of blood on the air as well. Strange. Like it's kind of this eerie contrast. The only people you see are really people who are kind of looking at you from inside their homes, boarded up buildings. Like they've literally boarded up their houses. There's no sign of any city watch anywhere on this side of just at least on this side of Riverside. Just seem non-existent. You might catch like a couple city watch, but they don't seem nearly as professional or well equipped as the ones in the Merchants District or in anywhere you've been to in Odessa so far. They almost seem a little bit thuggish in their own way. Like they seem to just have this sort of aggressive walk and pace to them. They just have this kind of almost like they either seem almost oppressed, just conquered, or almost thuggish in their own, like this smug, we own the streets look.
Mm-hmm.
You come across a couple of both, and the ones who just seem so weathered and done don't really pay you much mind. You seem like a not violent face. You're not violent to them. They just pass you. They barely register you. Those who look, the two that do pass you and look a bit more of the wrong crowd, they register you, but almost in a like, what does like they almost regard you in a way as in is almost like this sort of malicious curiosity, the way they just kind of gaze at you and just walk by you. Like they register you. It's almost like they try and stare you down before walking past. Almost like they get their gaze breaks on you because just quick enough for you to not really force, where you don't feel obligated to force something upon them. They don't seem to be. They seem to challenge you for the briefest moment before you realize this guy's armored mass and is much more well armed than we are. They seem to at least have common sense, even if they do seem crude in how they present themselves. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that seems to be the current state of things. As you continue to head down.
As I said, I'm actively trying to get mugged.
Oh, it's not going to take you too long. This is literally like the first 5 minutes. You literally see like 4 guards in like, yeah, you walk around for about 10 minutes. You see about 4 guards over the course of all that, and you go through multiple neighborhoods. See watch presence here is almost void, which is strange. But it doesn't take you long until you are confronted by several thugs who almost like cockroaches who seem to appear out of the woodwork. In fact, the way they approach you, they almost seem more professional than the city watch. In fact, they are, because the way they approach you, or the way they present themselves to you, is almost as though they've been keeping an eye on you for a little bit. In fact, you do notice they do have, you see a couple suspicious eyes in alleys and on the roofs. But they didn't interact with you. They just seemed to be keeping an eye on you. But then you see a couple guys appear out of the alleyway in front of you, a couple guys appear out of the alleyway behind you, 2 people appear from a rooftop with crossbows. Yeah, military grade equipment. Actually, would it be crossbows? I think it would be short bows in this era. I think short bows.
Crossbows are definitely a thing.
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was used by this particular culture at that time. It would have been. They probably have access to them, to be fair. And these aren't soldiers; these are criminals. So yeah, 2 crossbows from the rooftop to your right, and then another individual comes out of what appears to be a abandoned building on your left, effectively surrounding you by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. Who all appear well armed. Most of them are wielding daggers or short swords, and they all appear to be wearing military grade armor, tier 3 armor. These people are well equipped.
He's just going to casually stop, and he's going to say, "Oh, my apologies. It would appear as though..." He looks up at the sky nonchalantly, and he'll say, "Oh, I appear to have lost it. I was following a shooting star. Don't you gentlemen think the stars are lovely?"
The guy at the front, one of the guys, one of the 2 in front of you, they'll look fairly confident in dealing with you, but this one takes a few paces forward. Yes, heaven is a beautiful thing.
I have to note that. He will look around and he'll say, "So, you are the infamous gangs of Riverside I've heard so much about."
We represent the brothers of Paul. I would request that you do well to remember that. But I sincerely doubt this will be an issue in a few moments.
Before any altercation occurs, I have a question.
I believe it would be more than fair for us to indulge gentleman before taking a shirt off his back.
He will look around at the circle and he'll point at one of the men and he'll say, I'm curious. When you were small, when the world could have been anything, is this what you thought you would do?
Sorry, what did he say?
He said, when you were small, when to you the world could have been anything, is this what you truly desired to do? He's pointing at just one of the random thugs.
Does it matter?
Of course. How many of you stained your swords with blood because your families, and he'll point to the crosses, died here? How many of you wanted medicine so that your grandmothers, your parents, your children could possibly live? He kind of looks around at the people and he'll say, think about actions that have consequences. So many crosses. I wonder, honestly, when you look inside yourself in your deepest heart, are the people whom you cared about, who are now nothing more than crosses upon doors, would they be proud of you now if they saw to what you had fallen?
So, 5 of the 7 don't really seem to register your statement too much. They seem almost like, uncaring, frankly. They don't really seem to be registering the substance of what they're saying. They don't seem to care. They seem more interested in taking your shit, to be blunt. There are 2 who seem a bit incensed by it, like that. Like your statement kind of angers them, really. Like it sticks in their craw.
He will casually look back at the man who was facing him, and he will say, because of your actions, people suffer. Children cry out for want of milk. Parents weep over dead babies. Does this not fill you with shame?
Welcome to the world.
I see.
When did the world
become...
Not just say, I hope you enjoyed your stay. Almost like not amused but bemused. Like it's a mix of amusement and puzzlement. Like as in this sort of, as if this entire place was second nature to him, as if this is completely normal, as if this is normalized to him. In fact, that's the best way to put it. This is normal. Like fairly earnest in his statement, like "Welcome to the world." Like it's almost like it's a little bit patronizing in a way. It's like it's almost like he's he's stating. He says it as if he's stating the obvious to you. Is it puzzled like?
He will look at the two people who were. He will look at the two people who were hesitant or who looked angry, and he will say, "I have no doubt that there will now be a conflict." And he will say, he will hold out his hands, and he will say, "I have no doubt that those people whom you care about still care for you, wherever they find themselves. If you wish to truly make them proud, if you wish to have another chance, and if you wish to make it so that there are no more white crosses on doors, stand back from this engagement, and I will speak to you when it is done." Can I roll something to kind of be like all convincing and shit?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll. I'll roll 3 dice. I mean, they're not. No, they are professional, so they'll have roll 4d10. And you just have to beat their. You just have to beat their successes. Oh, they got 2, so get more than 2 successes, and we'll see in what manner that you may be able to convince them, or at least cause them to hesitate for a brief moment.
Cool.
Convincing them will be hard. These are hardened criminals. They're not going to be swayed by words particularly easily. So
that is entirely fair.
the degrees of success will have to be quite high in order to convince them to just stop, or at least the 2 that are incensed. The others aren't going to be particularly moved, to be honest.
Give me a second. That'll be. They will be when I start beating their friend to death.
Now they're scared, hardened criminals. But hey, it's 1 less. Oh wow,
1,
that's
2,
extremely.
3, 4. So
do you have
4
any
successes.
specialties? I don't think so. I know attributes don't have specialties.
You guys don't give specialties on attributes, do you?
Yeah, because they're a bit too vague. It's kind of a carryover since season 1, but yeah.
That's totally fair. I rolled leadership, so that was how I got the thingy. So, but it's still 4 successes.
That makes sense. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, you get 3 more successes than 1. Yeah, one of the guys, he's kind of got his sword half out of his sheath. That was because he was incensed before. He kind of looks down. He looks to his compatriots, looks to you. He kind of thinks. He thinks to himself in a way that he looks really fucking. He's furious. He's like he looks at you as if he wants to kill you, as if he's envisioning you dead on the ground right now. And it's like that sort of conflict between like letting down his compatriots or being honest with himself and what you said, and kind of, you're bringing up a lot of baggage for this guy. And the guy, one of the guys like directly behind him says, "Oh, for fuck's sake, he's losing his nerve! He wasn't cut out for this shit. We don't owe anything to the city that fucked us. And we certainly don't owe anything to... Let's just get this over with."
He's not losing his nerve. There will be the shing as Lucien draws his sword. He's finding his soul. And at that point, I'm happy to roll initiative.
Yeah, let's go. I'll treat these guys as a group because I don't want to have to roll like 6 fucking initiatives.
That is entirely life valid.
So I'll just roll 1 initiative for them, and I'll roll 2 initiatives. I'll split them into groups of 3, because the other guy will be like hesitant. He'll, depending on how the fight goes, he may join in, he may leave. These guys have tier 3 armor, so they do lose 1 dex. So they only have +4. So that's for group 1.
I'm going on a 22.
Yeah, you go. Okay, you definitely go for one of these assholes. Okay, so one of them. Okay, group two goes second. Group two will be the two archers as well. Actually, I'll
Okay.
say yeah. Group one of the guys are the four guys on the ground who are going to continue. Who are going to engage you in melee.
Mhm.
And then group two will be the two archers on the roof holding crossbows. They'll have to reload once they fired their shot.
Okay, cool. In that case, my turn of action. So yeah, let's
About
spend. Oh,
you have four guys approaching you from multiple different angles.
that means some of them, unless I kill all four of them, which is possible, someone is going to get a flanking bonus on me.
Likely, yeah, unless you kill the one flanking you.
Ooh, that's also a possibility. I just have to remember how my ship works, and that will be helpful. I'm going to bleed. Oh, what happens when? Okay, under your rules, I cannot start with anything less than my maximum blood points. So does that mean I just don't need to roll to feed, or am I good?
Oh, so you start at 3 plus your Elder Herd? Plus your Elder Herd.
According to your rules, Ansel will start with half of their total blood pool.
Oh, yeah, no, that's an old rule. I need to delete that. That's
not the case anymore? Okay.
No, that was an old rule that with the plague removed that rule because the city got massively depopulated, so that kind of fucked the Ancillars hunting patterns.
Okay, that's entirely fair. That means I need to get
if you want to make a hunting roll now, though, because we didn't do that before the scene.
That means I need to get out my handy dandy calculator. So I start with 3 plus my Elder Herd, which means I start with 6.
Elder Herd times 2, so Elder Herd is times 2.
Yeah, so that means I start with that. I'll just do my conspicuous or my efficient digestion at the end because for every 2 I get, it'll give me an additional 1.
Yep, that's fine.
So that will mean. What were the rules for physical hunting again?
The difficulty depends on the domain you're in. So technically, clan domains still apply. So bourgeois domain would be Old Town, which would be Div 6.
Okay. That's just what's the pool for that?
Dex, stealth, Dex, brawl, Dex, whatever kind of. Certainly not melee. Probably Dex, stealth, or brawl.
Okay, cool.
The highest of either of those pools.
Cool, that's not a problem. In that case, I'll do that. Copy, paste.
Are you wearing armor right now, by the way?
I'm wearing chain.
Okay, you can also chain. That'd probably be armor. That'd be tier 4 armor, if I recall. You're adding your celerity to that as well. You get to add your celerity to Dex rolls, but you also have to remove the armor penalty.
Oh, what is the armor penalty for chain?
For chain, that would be heavy armor. That'd be tier 4 armor, so you get 4 additional soak die, but you lose 2 Dex. And
okay, in that case,
I'll just for initiative, but it doesn't matter to these guys.
I was going to say, in that case, I'll roll my additional 2 dice for my celerity.
Oh, okay, damn, okay.
It's got 4 celerity. So it's, do ones deduct on hunting rolls?
Yeah, they do. So you get 4 successes.
Okay, so in that case, he'll start off with...
For every 2 you get 1 more, so you get 2 additional blood from that roll as well, which puts you against.
It'll put him at a total of... Because he'll take his total, he'll half it, and then, or for every 2 it gives you an additional 1. So he will be at 16 blood.
Oh damn! Okay. Damn. Okay. Yeah, you're full. Almost.
So all right. In that case, let's do some spending. I have to just remember some of my own rules because it's been a while since I did this. Cool. So he's going to spend blood for. You know what? He's going to spend blood for. He's going to spend blood for potence. And I'm going to buff my strength by an additional 2.
Okay.
And then I'll spend. Yeah, then I'll spend my last blood, bringing me to 12 total blood into celerity to kick off my celerity.
Okay. Yep.
Cool. So my celerity actions will obviously go at the end of the round. So guess who was eating? By the way, were these guys wearing helmets?
No.
Okay. I will gladly take the +1 diff to hit someone in the head because fuck their armor.
Yeah, it's actually +1 diff, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I always thought it was +2 diff for some reason. Yeah. In which case, I think it's +2 to shoot people in the head. That's why. But it's, yeah, +1 melee combat. Because I recall that. I keep getting that wrong.
So the guy who started talking shit to him is getting sword to face.
Yeah, that was actually the other guy who you pissed off.
Minor details. And you know what? Because I want to make a statement, I'm going to spend another proverbial willpower.
You can spend willpower to ignore wound penalties, but you may not spend willpower to automatically succeed at attack rolls. That's a hard rule I have. Unfortunately, you get really unlucky on that roll.
Hang on, I may have misjudged his dice pool. I think he may have one more dice, which could make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth the extra dice.
Oh yeah, he does.
He
He does in fact have one extra dice.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I will.
I know you have a lot of dice to that. I know you have like a lot.
He casts fist. It's what he does.
Yeah, with all your celerity, I mean, you're only spending 1 celerity, so you still get most of the dice for it, and you have it.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot. I still get an extra. I still get the. I have. Wait, in that case, I have an extra 4 dice.
I was gonna say yeah, because you have. I mean, surely if I know your stat line, like you should be rolling.
Holy crap! That's so terrible.
Wow,
Continue.
okay, so none of this matters.
I'm going to have to endure the beating of a lifetime.
Oh, I feel so bad.
It's entirely fine. Don't worry about it, dude.
Oh, that is sad days. 11 dice and no successes. That fucking botch life, man. He botched it.
He didn't botch, so he hit the sweep goes wide anyway.
So yeah. Yeah, these guys are all gonna come at you, so 2 of them are holding daggers. Actually, I'm gonna say they're all holding bloody short swords for the sake of simplicity. So +2 damage, basically. Yeah, it's 4 guys, so I'm going to roll 4d10. I'm going to do this all separately for each of them. So they do lose a dice, so they only have 4 dice. I don't know, would they have? Yeah, they'd have 4 dice. So that's the first guy's roll. He misses. So the guy who you swung at also misses you. However, the other guys will get a flanking bonus.
Woohoo, -1 diff. Is that a -1 or -2? I can never remember.
Oh, yeah, this guy gets 3 successes. So that's 2 + 2 + 3. Ones don't apply to damage or soak rolls, so just keep that in mind when you make the roll. Okay, so the second guy, who was much more, he was kind of the guy indulging you. He was the guy kind of speaking for the group initially. He hits you fairly hard with his sword, doing 3 lethal. You may soak that for stamina plus your armor, plus any fortitude. Yeah, plus any fortitude you may have.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 + 4 + 1 is 9.
Yeah, they ain't getting nowhere. Yeah, that's sort of like it. Yeah, it kind of dents your armor, but doesn't quite pierce through it. Leaves a sizable marking in the armor though. Almost broke through. Kind of breaks a few of the chain hoops keeping the mail together.
Cool.
The other guy will come at you. It's the third guy. He also gets flanking bonus because he's attacking you. He's the one guy who came out of the abandoned building. He botches. He hits his friend with a botch of 2 degrees. So he gets an additional dice to hurt his friend.
Hooray!
Yeah, so much for professionalism, huh? So that's 1 plus 3 plus 2. So you don't know.
Wow, this is literally friend the shankening.
Yeah. He will get the guy. He hits the guy who actually struck your armor. However, this guy he will get 3 dice to soak because he's wearing composite armor. And he actually soaks 2 of it. So yeah, the sword it breaches the armor, but it weathers most of the blow, leaving a nasty bleeding gash, kind of across the man's sword arm, as he kind of screams out and berates the man as to what the fuck he's doing. And the other guy just goes like, there's a lot of cursing. There's a lot of cursing about that. And then the other guy will come at you, and he was one of the other guys. He was the guy behind you, but it's still just a flanking bonus because you moved perpendicular to him.
That's entirely fair.
Pissed off. Wait, actually, no, wait, I'm getting my orientation wrong. The guy who struck your armor should have gotten a back attack because you were striking. The 2 guys were behind you. The guy came out of the building. Yeah, so this guy's getting a flanking bonus. I'll rectify that for later. And he misses. So it turns out these guys actually suck at their jobs, and are the worst organized thieves of all time. And we'll be going to group 2. Group 2 should have gone before, but fuck it, I'm bad at this.
Don't worry, dude. It's all good.
I'm bad. They will shoot you. For crossbows. I think crossbows actually have armor piercing.
I think they do. I think they ignore like 1 or 2 points of armor.
I think they ignore quite a lot actually. They have the ranged weapons in this game have ridiculous armor piercing. They don't do much damage, but they do make armor completely irrelevant. I'll just double check that real quick. Crossbow, they do 3 lethal damage, and they have an armor piercing. Oh, crossbows only have armor piercing at 2.
I thought that.
Yeah. Well, they will strike you. They'll line up their shots. This guy does a stellar job. So he'll roll 3 plus 2, which is 5. He does 3 lethal to you. And
Minus 2
breaks through 2 of your armor. So it strikes your hip. Sticks out of your body.
1, 2, 3. So.
Yep. So yeah. You do feel that one though. That one almost broke through your skin.
I was gonna say combat brouhaha. He does combat. Combat brouhaha.
So yeah. That gives you a measure of discomfort, but doesn't stop you. It kind of sticks into your armor, but doesn't quite break your skin.
That's entirely fair.
And the other guy will try to hit you with his crossbow. We'll have to reload next turn. Oh, and he does amazingly. So he's doing even more damage to you. Oh, he does 5 lethal, 2 armor piercing. So he straight up strikes you in the neck. Like,
I will laugh. If this bounces off my neck, life is funny.
You get 1, 2, 3. Oh, this one hurts.
Yes.
You feel that one.
Unhappy Lucian is unhappy.
Oh yeah, it breaks through your armor, breaks through your skin. Even the corpse-like stamina of your body can't fully ignore this one. This you kind of gurgle out a kind of a grunt, but you keep going.
It should now be my celerity action, I think.
Yep.
All right. The guy who I was attempting to hit, I'm just going to do an ordinary attack.
I completely ignored your... No, it doesn't matter, because you didn't hit him. Never mind. Yeah, you go. Who are you hitting?
Yep, I'm going to try and hit him. So that would be 9, 5,
You're hitting the
plus
same
5
thing?
is 10, plus 4 is 14. So 12 dice to hit at difficulty 6, because I'm not going to try and fucking hit him in the head now.
Mm-hmm. What the hell is this? But you have multiple 10s, so I know you at least succeed on this roll. So, because 10s accounts for 2 successes, because you have...
I do have a relevant specialty, so that'll be
Yeah, you have a
1,
relevant
2,
specialty.
3,
So
4,
2,
5, 6, 7,
3,
8.
5, 7, 8, 9, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 ones. Yes, you still get 5 successes.
A longsword does a broadsword slash longsword does
Are you
3
wielding
damage
it?
if it's in 2. It does 4 damage in 2 hands, doesn't it?
It does plus 3 damage in 2 hands, plus 2
Yeah.
damage in 1 hand.
All right. Well, he'll automatically take 3 damage because potence.
Yeah, I think you might just end this
So
guy.
that means it's also going to be. Currently he boosted his strength, so he's got strength of that. He's got strength of 4 plus 4 damage or plus 3 damage, so that's 7 plus 4 rollover, which is 11 dice of damage plus 3 automatic. So that will be.
So 11 plus 3 automatic damage.
That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 3.
That's 9 damage. He does have a chance to live, so I will roll for him. He doesn't get it. So you're with the first blow. He just kind of like your celerity wasn't quite triggered, so he kind of just like leans back. But then you're kind of able to lean forward to adjust, and you just cut cleanly through his entire body. Like his torso is separated from his waist, and he goes flying in a glorious spray of blood. The bone, the armor, the flesh, it doesn't even slow down your strike. It's just a clean cut straight through his body. The execution as well.
Anime, you're just here. I was gonna say, if this was an anime, you hear the little shing.
Yeah, pretty much. He literally like. I say it's clean. Like obviously, his sword connects to the flesh. It is the bone and the muscle is somewhat crushed as you cut through it. But yeah, like the upper half of his body just kind of flies a few feet away from you. He dies instantaneously, and that spooks the rest of these guys who are wondering how the fuck that just happened, how you move so quickly with such immense force.
Okay, so it should now revert back to the top of the initiative, which is me again.
Yep.
I'm gonna be that guy, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend all 4 of my blood for celerity.
Oh, okay.
Because fuck these guys and everyone they love.
Okay.
No, sorry. I'll spend 3 blood for celerity and 1 blood for potence.
That's better. I mean, that's even worse. Okay, so at least one of them's gonna live. Yeah, who do you hit first?
Angry Bruja. Well, no, he's not actually angry at this point, but still.
He's just irritated.
He is mildly irritated. That is how science works. So he's going to bear in mind, if the crossbow bolt guys try to run, my response is I run with celerity and can jump on top of that building.
Oh yeah, easily. It's like potence 3, easily jump up to that rooftop. You can jump like several stories above that rooftop. But yeah,
he is
because the archers
as he brings his sword through the guy, he's going to continue his arc. And he's going to sweep upwards in kind of a diagonal line to kind of cleave another person basically in the same movement, because obviously that they linked in terms of time. So yeah, this is going to be difficulty 6 because I'm not doing cold shots anymore. Because oh wow, well
1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 successes. So yeah, 8 plus 3 plus his strength.
So his strength is currently 5 plus the 3, which is 7, plus the 8 rollover, which is 15, plus an automatic 3 successes.
Taking back the streets, one body at a
1,
time.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
You kill
9,
him.
10, 11.
There's no way to resist that. So yeah, you immediately, as you say, you kind of arc back around with your sword strike, and kind of you're carrying the momentum of the last strike. Cut cleanly up and through this guy. His armor, parts of his armor that were held together by mail, just go flying. Kind of hear kind of the scattering and clinking of mail as it hits the ground. This guy is literally, his torso is just ripped open. He just falls to the ground immediately before he can even attempt another strike on you. Which leaves 2 people on the ground. But it'll be the archers first. I think they have to reload.
Yes, they have to spend, but that's the downside of crossbows.
Yeah, so they have to spend a turn putting a bolt, stringing a bolt back against the bow. They look pretty fucking, like, they don't really have much time to react. They just look fucking shocked. Almost shocks them so much that they forget to reload. But they're kind of now doing it very hastily, because that literally brought a moment's hesitation to them as you just instantaneously ripped open 2 people. The other 2, well, one of them is going to, they will still try and hit you. I mean, they don't really have time to react other than to just keep hitting you for the moment. Like, you just killed people, so you just killed those 2 people so quickly, they haven't really registered it yet. Well, this guy gets decent successes against you.
Fuck it, I'll use, because I spent for 3 actions, which means only 2 of them can be attacked, so I might as well parry this one.
Yeah,
if I parry
that's completely true. You can do that.
So give me a second. It's 12. Boop.
Yeah, no, he goes to strike you. You bat his blade away, and his arm kind of just goes. His arm kind of flies out of rhythm. It's almost like in a sort of ragdolly fashion, because again you're hitting him with immense force. It just causes his arm, almost his shoulder, to dislocate. But he just somehow hangs on to his blade as it's just flung back behind him. And he's like, "Arr!"
All that's going through Lucian's mind is, come on, guys. Come on, literally, lone figure, poetic, walking alone in the dark. And how is this going to end any other way?
TV tropes does not exist as an entity yet, sir. The other guy will try and hit you.
I can Deadpool the shit out of it, though.
These guys did not bring their round hands. And he gets a single success. Huzzah!
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Okay, so he gets 3 plus 3. So 60-10. Yeah, that's something. Well, you got 3 damage. So again, much like the guy you just ripped apart, the guy strikes against you. I'm not really rolling flanking for them at this point, because they're kind of all, like, you're kind of facing the last 2. The last 2 have kind of grouped together for safety. Made some slight positional changes to not die.
He
and that was a
sucks.
parry, right? yeah, like, again, like, I mean, you activated your potence, right? I mean, that almost breaks his blade. Not quite, though.
I've always thought that, particularly for Dark Ages, I've always thought that potence should give you some kind of armor piercing. Because it makes sense that it would, but it doesn't. And I'm just sitting there going,
it's a specific potent 6 trait is the problem. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, you pack his attack, you send his blade flying. He kind of stumbles. He's almost knocked to his feet. He manages to maintain his balance, but you send him, like, stumbling backwards with your strength. Oh, hey, look, it's all those celerity actions you have.
now is the time of pain. Behold, saith the Lord, for I am the pain train.
For I am
Oh,
the
my
combat
sweet
bruiser,
Jesus.
and all shall witness me this day as I get million
that's-
tens.
That's a million tens.
This might be the most. This might be the most successes I've seen on any roll made by a player. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 10 successes.
So 9 rollovers, so 5 strength plus 3 for, so that's 7 plus 9 is 16 plus 3 automatic successes. Combat Bruja is unimpressed with your shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang on, is that only 4? Good God.
Only 4, so he has a chance to live through this.
Yeah, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so
If he's still getting stunned though, so he is no way he won't be able to act the next turn. He soaks. Oh my God, he somehow lives.
I like to think that that is literally just he took off the arm at the shoulder, like basically at the shoulder, and your arm is gone.
Yeah. You have 3 potence and you did 4 lethal, so you do 7 damage. -2 is 5. You maul this guy. You yeah, you kind of you make a quick slash across a gap in the armor in his torso. So you make a quick slash across his torso. Kind of again opening it very cleanly, but the bleed isn't as significant as you'd have hoped. And he, despite the enormous injury, he manages to stay standing.
Ooh.
And just kind of, yeah. But you get more attacks.
Important question. Did the guy who I kind of convinced not to fight, did he draw a weapon and try and hurt me or no?
No, he has not. He's in fact, he's pretty fucking horrified right now. By the wanton slaughter occurring in front of him.
I mean, sometimes you need wanton slaughter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 6, holy crap. So that's the exact same dice pool for his friend of Chucklefuck.
You're making sure to remove the celerity dice because you're spending them on actions. Just making sure.
Yeah. Because he blood buffed his dex to 7, and he's got 5 melee. So he's this is all his ordinary dice pool without the celerity added on. If he was
keep in
hitting,
mind you have to -2 because of your armor penalty.
So oh shit! Okay. In that case, I'll remove 2 dice from the following. Cool. Yeah. My apologies. I had a brain moment.
Your last 2 dice were a 5 and a 7, so you only need to remove 1 dice. So just remove the basically we'll lose the 10 on the end of that damage roll. So still 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 4 is 10. He can't live through that.
I only have it's only 3, so it's 9 technically. But
technically, if his armor holds, it does not. You literally shatter through the armor and just slay another guy.
All right, then it goes back
his body flying with him at this point into.
Then it goes back to me at the top of the initiative.
Yep.
Combat Bruja is unimpressed with your shit.
I think, I'd say they're fleeing, but I mean, it's still your turn. They don't have the opportunity to flee yet, so go ham.
Go ham, you say? How wounded? Actually, you know what? Fuck it. How wounded is the guy directly in front of him?
The guy who did like 5 lethal to?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got 5 lethal. He's mauled. He's
horrendously
wounded. A lot of people at this level bleed out and die if they don't receive some degree of medical attention.
I'm going to need to feed like a motherfucker when this is over. Unfortunately, there's a smorgasbord all around me. Let's spend 3 into celerity and 1 into potence, so that will drop me down to 4 blood. Oh, 4 blood. And on his first round, what he's actually going to do is he is going to crack the guy. He's going to basically strike the guy in the face with his sword, or kind of just disembowel him in one way or another. And then he's going to chase down the archers, because I don't want no fucking breaking of the silence of the blood today. Thank you very much. So that will be 10d10. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll be 7 with 6 rollover. So that would be strength 5 plus 3, which is 8, plus 7 rollover, which is 2, which is 14. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 lethal on the guy who was already injured.
I mean, it's a fine red mist you created. I'll just leave it at that.
His name was once Gaston. What's his name now? Red Mist.
It's almost the way you kill him is almost inappropriately audacious. It's almost it's artistic, but in a way that makes it almost seem needlessly cruel.
In that case, it will now default to 2 archer guys.
Yep, the fucking running.
All right. In that case, he will use the next of his celerity actions. He will look at the chap who he questioned, and he will stare. I would very much appreciate it if you would stay right there. I will be back momentarily. And then I would very much enjoy a conversation.
I mean, the guy's on his ass, like fucking backing the fuck away from you on his ass, like just kind of kicking away from you just because what the fuck is even happening? Like he doesn't process it. He's in shock. He's literally in a state of shock.
You know something? Fuck altogether chasing these guys physically. Do you know what he's going to do? He's going to take 2 of the swords of their dead friends and throw them right into their backs as they're running away.
Fair enough.
Because I don't want to chase these motherfuckers.
I don't even know how that would work. Like, how does that interact with potence?
It would probably be Dex Athletics to throw the thing, and it would still apply the potence.
Yeah, I know Dex Athletics to apply potence.
Or Strength Athletics, whichever.
I guess. I mean, yeah. I guess we'll just apply potence for thrown objects. Makes sense, right? I know projectile does the same thing, and that's a celerity thing, but that would make them stack. So, I mean, that's Elder Power, so fuck it. Anyway, yeah, you can definitely do that. You take that sword, you throw it. Like, they're on the ground. It's not like you have to unsheath or anything. Like, you have to
I was going to say, basically, he's going to drop his own sword because he likes his own sword. He's going to scoop up 2 of their swords and just kind of fling, if you get me.
Yep, no, go ahead. You're using, what's your blood pool right now?
4.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, you are approaching hunger.
Yes, he is. But fortunately, as I said, smorgasbord. So it is going to be... Yep. I have to check his relevant stats. I have to check those relevant stats. Relevant stats. Relevant stats. All right, so the first one is going to be 7.
All right.
1, 2.
These guys only have 1 dot of armor, so.
Oh well, this is about to be a very sad day for them.
Yeah.
So
they're getting full dice balls for their actions.
Are we rolling dex or strength for the throw?
It's dex athletics for the throw. But you still roll your strength plus whatever for damage, because that's the force of which you throw the weapon.
Cool. So that's still going to be 1, 2, 3 successes on the attack roll, which means it's going to be a sword, which is still a 3. Or it's going to be a 2 now, because I'm not using it two-handed, but it's going to be
you
a
just
2.
throw these things like javelins.
Cool. It's going to be a 2 plus a 2 plus a 5, which is 9, plus 3 automatic successes.
Okay. There's the vague possibility these guys don't die horribly. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he has 7 lethal on the first one.
He soaks a. He's stunned. I'll just put him in. I think that would cripple him, so he wouldn't be able to. He would die. He would die from bleeding out.
That is fair.
Like he's
And
crippled.
yep. And the exact same. There might be some screaming for a while.
He can move like a single yard at a time or something. Oh, that one misses.
That's unfortunate.
One of these getting away.
Ah!
That's bad. That's really fucking bad. You don't want to let those guys get distance.
I really don't. Fortunately, guess what? It defaults to me at the beginning of the round.
Yep, and I mean, you do have potents free. You can easily just jump over this building.
Fuck yeah. Just gonna potence jump onto the building. I'm not gonna fucking spend for potence. He's literally just going to walk him down. He you know what? Can I potence jump if I grab this guy and bring him with me?
Potence grab who? Like the guy who's in shock?
Oh no, he's in shock. He'll be there in a couple of minutes. He'll be fine. I'm just going to potence jump onto the building and spend 1 for celerity so I can physically catch him.
Yep. That puts you at hunger, if I recall.
Yes, it does. So I'm going to how I'm going to kill him is I'm going to do a grapple. So I'll spend for the potence to automatically get my potence and successes on the grapple. So it'll put me down to 2 blood, and then I'm going to feed him. I'm going to actively into his neck.
Okay, yeah, because you're biting him, I won't have you make a frenzy check until that point in the turn.
So he can oppose. Hang on, I do have to roll strength grapple, but I get 3 automatic successes because
he will get. I mean, he needs to get a really good roll on here. Okay. No, you grab him. You grab him with your potence alone. You don't.
Okay, cool. In that case, it becomes a. I believe. No, I still have to roll because I have to get how many successes?
He evens you out. Yes, you just need a single success on this roll and you get him.
I've got 3 successes with potence. So it's my strength brawl. My strength is currently 5. My brawl is only 1. So it's going to be 6 dice. Wow.
He gets away from you. Somehow. Hey boy, guess what? It's that time again. It's frenzy time. Oh boy. And I'm just going to double check a rule, because I've always used a rule that you can only roll as much self-control as you have blood in your system.
Oh boy!
Because I remember that. I swear I've seen that in V20, but I'm going to double check it here. Because I know that is a thing, and I've used it in this game before. I do want to double check.
If that is the case, I rolled. I think I pass. I'm not sure what the difficulty is.
Difficulty, yeah, it would be difficulty 6, so you do pass, which is very important because it's relevant to your road. But yeah, you do resist the urge to just immediately eat this guy.
I mean,
not that you weren't going to do that anyway, but it's on your terms, not on your beasts.
On the next round of combat, because basically his actual attempting to break the grapple is his round of combat, which means it diverts to me again.
No, so contested roll. So
no, you are right. Yeah, you're right. So he will get to run a little bit.
Yeah, the way that worked, even if that was a rule, I'd overrule it just because that would make grapples insanely OP actually, economy-wise.
You could essentially grapple lock someone.
Yeah,
at
you
that
can. Yeah, that's been a problem in the past. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he will try and gain distance. He's running away from you. He's not going to fight you. You've just killed all those guys without any real apparent effort. You have only one significant injury in your neck.
So
Which
in
gives
that
you
case,
plus,
chase,
but
chase,
that's not-
chase, 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 chase. I'm
You
much
have
faster.
you have so much more dice than him. I'm not even going to make a contest. You will catch up to him and run him down, even in your armor.
Cool. Shall we do that thing where I spend my last blood point, so I've got one left in my system to attempt to potence grab and actually,
To be honest, this isn't really he's no threat to you at this point, so I'm more than happy to leave it as a sort of cinematic conclusion.
All right, cool. In that case, Lucian will he'll take off his mask and he'll just look down at him with the horribly burned, disfigured face and the vampire fangs, and he'll say, "Oh, mon cher, you should have listened to me." And then, drink.
And then you drain him dry as the husk shrivels. Do roll my self-control again, though, because the taste of blood does actually trigger frenzy. It's only diff 5, but it's +2 difficulty for you. I forgot about that on the last roll, but I'm not going to.
I don't think. I think that's only certain. I think the Brewhawk curse is only certain. Is it also hunger frenzy?
Let me double check, because I know it doesn't count for fear frenzy. I know it doesn't count for Rorschach. I will double check though, because I know it is specific. It does specify. They definitely specify. Weakness, the passionate to guide frenzy. Additionally, a no spend the willpower to avoid frenzy. They may spend a point of willpower to end a frenzy that has already begun. It doesn't really specify at all. It does talk about it does talk about fits of rage though, so
I'll roll it, and I'm happy to accept the +2 diff.
It's fits of rage. It does say fits of rage, not hunger. So
I succeed with a 10 anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, we'll just make it like for rage checks.
He will. So he will basically. What he'll do is how many? It's about 10 blood points you can get from a person. I think. It's been a while since I've done this.
Yeah, humans have a blood pool of 10.
Cool. So he'll drain him dry, at which point he will very casually cut off his head and the wounds in the neck more specifically, so that if anyone looks at the body, they will see a headless corpse as opposed to a corpse with two net bites with 2 teeth marks on the neck.
Yeah, exsanguinated, which is a bit concerning, but other than that, that can be dealt with. How many? You've literally been in here 10 minutes, and you know this place doesn't have law enforcement. This isn't an issue.
What is this law enforcement you speak of?
Exactly. That's the City Watch aren't going to be on your ass about this. It's unlikely they'll even ever know anybody died.
With that in mind, he'll walk back over to the edge of the. The thing that he jumped up, and he's just going to drop down again, just be like. Doo-doo.
Guy is in fucking shock. He's not really in a position to speak to you because he's fucking terrified. He was literally so scared that even given the opportunity he had to run away, he didn't because he was so shaken.
Lucian will literally sit down next to him, his mask reattached to his face. He'll sit down next to him with his back against the building, and he'll say, he'll retrieve his sword and sheath it, and he'll say, "I had said, and I think you may have heard me, the stars are beautiful, don't you think?"
Wow, okay. He passes out. I think that statement itself is what it took for him to just lose it.
Lucian will shrug. He will stand up. He will put the guy over his shoulder, and I'm going to do what I will lovingly refer to as parkour my way home.
Yeah, I mean, it's a largely abandoned neighborhood. You will find actually, although rooftop is a bit risky here because the criminals control most of the rooftops. So Even though the
Oh,
neighborhoods are largely
in that case,
abandoned.
he'll just walk through the streets, and if any of the guards ask, he'll just say that his friend was drinking and had a bit too much, and if necessary, just grease a few palms, or just
I think
have
you'll
a.
need to grease a few palms because this is like you and this guy look so out of place. This entire situation is strange. Probably not in Riverside. Merchants District, though, you'll need to grease some
Oh,
palms.
actually, in that case, what he'll do is he'll walk to the edge of Riverside with the guy slung over his shoulder, and then he's going to walk into the merchant's quarter. I'm going to buy just a wagon and a mule.
You can do this. People are wondering why the hell you have a gun on your shoulder and people are
Oh,
giving
no.
you a wide
He
berth.
leaves him down in
Oh.
Riverside. He just walks a couple of 100 feet to buy a wagon and a mule, goes back over there, throws him in the back of the wagon, and drives the wagon home.
Okay, I'll see if there is. It is a merchants district, but I will see if it's like in your immediate vicinity and not like deeper into the district.
Mm-hmm.
And you got 7. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you're fortunate, and there happens to be animal handler around who's willing to sell you a mule and a small wagon on the cheap. I mean, you probably pay him far more than he believes he deserves.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, let's be fair, I've got resources 5. It's probably not an
this is
issue.
trivial.
But basically, when Lucian gets home, because Lucian has a house in the noble quarter, he's going to have the guy brought up to a nice bedroom, and he's going to pour a point of blood down his throat.
Yep.
And I'm happy to end the scene there, because, anything else we'll probably do in Blue Booking.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you, players. Thank you, watchers, for watching. We'll see you all next time on Vampire the Murdering.